rising instead of declining.
This jobs number caused a jump in Treasury yields today as markets price in those fewer Fed cuts. Should we be worried, Lauren, about the rising cost of servicing America's debt as it continues to rise?
Worried, maybe not quite yet. I think we still have several years that we can continue down this path, but I am longer term very concerned. We are really watching this overspending, this deficit spending that year after year rolls into more and more debt. I think by 2030, that is when I'm really looking for these chickens to come home to roost. This will eventually be a problem that we just can't kick down the road any further. But for the immediate term, no crisis expected. Higher cost of borrowing, though, and more than anything, bigger debt burden. That will certainly plague us probably around the end of this decade.
Going back to the labour market, you mentioned in your notes that longer term, Gen Z, who are just entering the job market, will be insufficient to replace retirees. What will that mean a few years from now?
This is absolutely going to be inflationary as we look at just where can we find more workers. The easy answer is, well, let's look at that younger cohort who's just now aging into the labor force. For us in the United States, Gen Z, they're a relatively smaller generation. So as you say, they are not going to be able to replace on a one-for-one basis retiring baby boomers. That means we'll have to look elsewhere for more workers. Maybe that's immigration. The current incoming administration doesn't seem to be going down that road. So I think businesses will have to either pay more for workers, but at the end of the day, they'll have to do something to make their existing human workforce more productive. So I see AI, any amount of tech or automation, robotics, really helping at the end of the day. There will be some investment required, which at this relatively higher cost of borrowing, as we talk so much about interest rates, certainly will come at a cost. But I think those costs will be very well worthwhile when you're having to pay more for these existing human workers to begin with.
Lauren Seidel-Baker of ITR Economics, thank you so much. Well, that's Macro Matters. Don't forget, you can watch more videos on Reuters.com.